investigates the case,
doesn't that mean you're next on Long Ben's hit list?
the more bizarre it gets.
There's no such thing as a pirate curse.
The Coroner.
Thursday night at 8 on Arizona PBS. From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
The Phoenix City Council met today to discuss the possibility of Phoenix being recognized as a sanctuary city. We take a live look at the reactions from outside City Hall.
Plus, the future of self-driving cars is here, but are they safe? How car companies are working towards getting them safely in the hands of consumers.
And learning another language can be extremely difficult. How schools in the Valley are incorporating dual language into early childhood education.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Anthony Mitchell.
And I'm Veronica Acosta. Thank you for joining us.
Phoenix City Council met today to discuss a petition for the city of Phoenix to adopt the label of becoming a sanctuary city. The Phoenix area is currently home to nearly 250,000 immigrants in the country illegally. Reporter Lily Altavina is live outside the City Council meeting where residents have mixed feelings about the proposal.
It's happening right now. Phoenix City Council members are hearing testimony on whether Phoenix should be declared a sanctuary city. Advocates from Puente, Arizona are here, and they tell me they're here to tell City Council members why they think Phoenix police should not comply with federal immigration officials. Phoenix police told Cronkite News that the department does not comment on pending legislation. In a memo to council members, City Attorney Brad Holm wrote that the petition's proposal is not legally valid. Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton says that voting yes would break the law. Today's meeting is packed as protesters on both sides await a decision.
I came here legally, and I cannot see why people feel that they can just run into the backyard of your house and expect that you take care of them.
For us, it's been very difficult because the mayor of Phoenix, Greg Stanton, has said that he's going to stand up to Trump and defy him even if federal funding is threatened. But the reality is that the Phoenix Police Department is already a mass deportation machine, one of the biggest deportation forces in the nation.
Cities across the U.S. are facing similar proposals in the wake of President Donald Trump's executive orders. A Mesa mother was deported last week, sparking protests across the city of Phoenix. Live from Phoenix City Hall, Lily Altavina, Cronkite News.
A criminal damage investigation is underway after someone broke into a TV and radio transmission building on top of South Mountain. The break-in left viewers who get Arizona PBS, KPNX Channel 12, and some other stations over antennas without programming this morning. One person is in custody, suspected of trespassing. Police say someone cut cables inside a panel, creating enough damage to knock Arizona PBS and Channel 12 off the air.
It's a pretty iconic location, the top of South Mountain. Most anybody from anywhere in the valley can see all the towers. Those are actually radio and television transmitters that are up there.
I've been working in the Phoenix market for over 14 years, and I've never heard of such a dramatic attack on transmission towers.
Engineers were able to get both television stations broadcasting again in about an hour. There's no word yet on a motive.
President Donald Trump held a joint press conference today alongside Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in their first face-to-face meeting since the inauguration. The two discussed U.S. and Israeli relations as well as the possibility of a peace deal between the U.S., Israel, and Palestine.
Our administration is committed to working with Israel and our common allies in the region towards greater security and stability. That includes working toward a peace agreement between Israel and the Palestinians. The United States will encourage a peace and really a great peace deal.
The meeting with Netanyahu marks a busy week for the president, who also met with the Canadian Prime Minister on Monday. Additionally, the president is set to host a dinner with Senator Marco Rubio and his wife later on this evening.
After the resignation of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, many have criticized the state of our national security. Senator John McCain recently spoke out about his concern for the current state of national security.
Also, my concern is also that with now no national security advisor and the turmoil within the administration makes it very difficult for us to exercise responsibilities as to defend the nation.
In a statement today, fast food CEO Andrew Putzer announced that he will withdraw his nomination for Labor Secretary. Putzer said, quote, "While I won't be serving in the administration, I fully support the president and his highly qualified team." His withdrawal comes after Republicans voiced concerns after he reportedly did not pay taxes for 5 years for a housekeeper who was not authorized to work in the U.S.
New sensors are helping ADOT forecast ice on Interstate 40 near Flagstaff. A program will combine that information with data from the National Weather Service to help determine if ADOT needs to send de-icing crews to the area. New technology like those sensors was on display at the American Traffic Safety Services Association annual convention in Phoenix this week. Several companies were there showing improvements to roadway signs. Here in Arizona, there were nearly 1,600 wrong-way driving incidents. The key to help deter those may just be the placement of the signs.
A lot of the theory is that the closer to the ground level that you can get it is typically where the driver is focused in terms of trying to maneuver down the roadways. So signs up high may not be as effective as roadside delineation or signs mounted at a lower mounting height to be able to say it's going the wrong way.
Arizona is one of several states leading the nation in the testing of self-driving cars. While it could be a while before you can own one, some of the leading car companies currently testing the technology are working with Congress in Washington. Cronkite News reporter Tyler Finger is in Washington, D.C. to tell us how the road ahead could be a bit bumpy as the technology develops.
We're going to do this in a safe way, and when we're ready to deploy driverless vehicles, we'll deploy them, but not before.
General Motors was one of several automakers on Capitol Hill working toward a common goal of getting fully autonomous cars on the road in the hands of consumers. GM says safety is what it's all about.
There are huge societal benefits to self-driving vehicles, and principal among those are the safety benefits.
It's like allowing teenage drivers on the road. They may not be safe drivers yet, but they need good driving experience to become safe drivers.
Several companies are currently using Valley Streets to refine the software behind their cars, like General Motors, Ford, and Google. GM says the testing has gone well.
The vehicles that are deployed in Scottsdale, Arizona, we have vehicles that run 24/7. As I said, they're one of the 3 sites where we do development, and yeah, it's going very, very well.
The future of cars and drivers is more clear. But still, the futuristic cars are just that, futuristic, for now. In Washington, Tyler Finger, Cronkite News.
Arizona has more than 200,000 registered motorcycles. Figuring out how to best share the road starts with a lunch at the Capitol today. At the Motorcycle Day at the Dome Luncheon, it's quieter than you might have thought, and that could be part of the problem. The Arizona Brotherhood, aimed towards education, ABATE, has a message for drivers. Look out for riders. In over half of all motorcycle-involved car crashes, the cyclist is not at fault. They lobby against legislation they view as discriminatory to motorcyclists or potentially compromising to rider safety. The group also wants to break stereotypes.
And we're just not poor white trash that the stereotype is. That we have people from all walks of life, from not only the Caucasian riders who ride Harleys, the old white fat guys, but they're African Americans, Hispanics, Asians. It doesn't matter. It encompasses the whole who Arizona is.
A lawsuit against the minimum wage hike is going to the Arizona Supreme Court. The case suggests the raise in wages violates the state constitution due to the lack of preparation to acquire funds for the federal and state employees. Those employees are exempt from the wage raises. Drinking toilet water may seem strange, but it could soon become more common.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we take a look at how toilet water could be turned into tap water.
Plus, how solar panels are helping college students to get outside.
I'm Scott Pelley, anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. In our changing media landscape, it is crucial for journalism education to ensure a commitment to the truth, unbiased reporting, strong ethics, unwavering fairness, and above all else, accuracy. These are the hallmarks of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. It's a place where students can innovate and transform the news industry while always upholding the values of the school's namesake. The Cronkite School at ASU, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule, where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online.
State water leaders are moving ahead to allow recycled water from your toilet and shower to flow from your water faucet. Reporter Morgan Wheeler explains why this is needed.
Drinking treated wastewater is currently prohibited, but the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality says technology has improved enough to deliver clean recycled water to your faucet. But the challenge is to overcome customers' worries about taste and safety.
A fear of, is it safe? Is it healthy? What about pollutants?
The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality is working to change the prohibition of putting treated wastewater directly back into a city's water supply. Experts say drought and low water supplies in smaller communities are reasons that should change.
There may be potentially some mountain communities that are very dependent on limited water sources, limited surface water sources, or limited groundwater sources, might be the first ones that are interested in that.
Reclaimed drinking water isn't new. Singapore and California both use it. A northern Arizona vineyard uses reclaimed water to grow grapes for wine and thinks drinking recycled water is a natural next step.
It's the future for Arizona to be using every drop of water.
And that's our mission, to educate and inform the public that it can be done, and it's done everywhere. It just hasn't been done here yet.
The Arizona Department of Environmental Quality is working on a draft of rules that will be taken to the Governor's Regulator Review Council to get approved. Chad Graff says this water is being tested and should be concluded by the end of this year. In the Broadcast Center, Morgan Wheeler, Cronkite News.
Does the idea of taking water from toilet to tap make you cringe? Or are you happy to help sustainability efforts and give it a try? Cronkite News wants to hear from you. Go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org to fill out our online survey on making wastewater drinkable.
High school students from across the state spoke out about environmental changes they hope to see from the state legislature. Cronkite News reporter Ashley Holcomb gives us a look at how students took part in today's Environmental Day at the Capitol.
60 students from all over the state gathered at the Arizona State Capitol for Environmental Day. The theme this year, protecting the Arizona we all share. Water conservation and preserving Arizona state parks were just a few of the environmental issues discussed. High school student Anna Rose Moore-Almeida shared her concerns about air pollution.
It affects me, it affects my friends, it affects my family, and it's one of the things that I've always fought for since I started.
Sandy Barr of the Arizona Sierra Club believes it is important for these students to speak out and let lawmakers know what changes they want to see in environmental policy.
To me, when we don't care for the environment, when we don't address climate change, that's not fair to future generations. And so I think their voices really need to be heard here at the legislature because it's about their future.
The students are hopeful that the more they voice their concerns, the more changes will be made. In Phoenix, Ashley Holcomb, Cronkite News.
ASU is one of many universities paving the way in finding new solutions to providing natural, energy-efficient resources to students on campus, as well as maintaining a clean environment. Cronkite News reporter Chantel Del Aguila takes us to UCLA, where sustainable technology is giving students the opportunity to spend more productive time outdoors.
Honestly, I didn't even know that we had them, but I think it's a great idea.
He's talking about new solar-powered umbrellas, which are making it convenient for students to study outside without worrying their mobile devices are about to die.
We figured not only was it a great way to make sustainable technology visible for students, but it's also a really great way to encourage students to spend more time outdoors.
With funding from the University of California's Green Initiative Fund, Sophie and her group were able to install 5 umbrellas at popular Kirchhoff patio.
There's between $3 and $10 taken out of every single student's tuition, and that goes into the Green Initiative Fund, and then students across campus can apply to receive funding from the Green Initiative Fund for different sustainable and conservation projects on campus.
The umbrellas can hold a charge for up to 15 hours without sunlight, which is great for students to be able to study outdoors.
I think they're really useful. It was nice to come out here and still be able to charge my phone and also sit in some shade, because before we didn't used to have these and it would be like burning sun.
And while these students will graduate and move on, university staff predict they'll be around to see more of these projects in years ahead.
I mean, I think it's very satisfying. You need power in your device, the sun's right there, just cut all the middle people out, and you just power your device directly.
And at $2,500 per umbrella, these solar advocates say it's money well spent. In Los Angeles, Chantel Del Aguila, Cronkite News.
ASU currently has installed 10 NGR solar panel devices across all campuses. The collaborations with Lightworks has been providing energy-efficient solutions for faculty, staff, and students. Local animal shelters are overcrowding with nearly 100 animals coming in every day.
And some of them can't keep up. Coming up on Cronkite News, we take a closer look at how some animal shelters are handling the influx of lost dogs.
It's been the perfect day to head outside and go to the park. And luckily for us, that weather is going to continue into your evening. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Right about now.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Keeping one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong. Do you believe it?
The Maricopa County Animal Care and Control Center is striving to stop putting down dogs that already have homes. In 2014, the center euthanized more than 7,000 dogs, but last year that number dropped to about 4,200. Reporter Nicole Gutierrez tells us how the problem isn't just strays.
In 2016, the Maricopa County Animal Care and Control Center took in more than 35,000 animals at their 2 intake facilities. Other jurisdictions don't have the shelter space, so all animals in question get redirected to these county shelters, and that's when tough decisions have to be made.
Got all these animals coming in, there's no kennels available. What do we do?
Melissa Gable says the Maricopa Animal Care and Control Center is an open admission shelter. They have to take any and all animals that show up at their doors.
Trying to do is refer to them as lost, because chances are any dog that may be a stray dog is probably a lost dog.
The Maricopa County Animal Control Center takes in 100 animals a day, and although they've decreased euthanizing animals, they want to keep the momentum going.
200 to 300 dogs a day getting lost.
out there. It's a lot.
And that's why Cindy Getz, president of Lost Dogs of Arizona, met with the shelter director and community groups in a town hall meeting last week.
So that's where we step in. I mean, that's what we do, right? So we can help Maricopa County Animal Care and Control network these dogs, work to find the owners, and try and get them out of the shelter and back home.
The shelter managed to reunite 4,500 lost pets with their owners last year, and that's just one of the strategies discussed to help keep the shelter euthanasia rate dropping.
I think in the past maybe we were hesitant to admit that maybe we've made some faults or mistakes, and maybe we didn't want to be vulnerable and say we need your help.
And with community initiatives to promote proper pet IDs and microchips, the hope is to save even more four-legged friends in the future. And pet owners that want to surrender their pets should know that there are other options beyond the county shelters. Many organizations like foster and rescue groups can rehome those animals. In the broadcast center, Nicole Gutierrez, Cronkite News.
An Arizona Senate panel agreed to advance plans to build a new arena for the Coyotes using tax-generated funds. This new facility will be built in either downtown Phoenix or east of Phoenix. The team will pay $170 million for the arena, but the rest will be paid by Phoenix residents. The Coyotes wanted to move into the Tempe community this past month. However, they were denied by ASU. The Coyotes are housed in Glendale, and taxpayers are still paying for the Gila River Arena. Coyotes President Anthony LeBlanc recently stated, quote, "Glendale is simply no longer an option." It's a sunny day here in Phoenix, but are gloomy days ahead?
Lauren Herberger is in the Weather Center with your latest forecast.
That's right. It is a gorgeous day here in the valley today. Temperatures right now, we're looking at in the mid-70s, 73 in Buckeye, 74 in Phoenix, and 72 in Mesa. Now, we had clear skies the last couple of days, but that is going to disappear. Let's look at the system of clouds that's coming through starting tomorrow afternoon around your lunchtime. You're going to see it move across the valley and then continue as we go into your evening. Friday morning, northern Arizona, that's when you want to pay attention because that's when the first of the storms is going to come in. We're seeing that come from California. It's going to move across the state as we head into the rest of your weekend. So what this means is for Friday, we're going to see about temperatures around 77 degrees. That's when the clouds start coming in. Saturday is going to have your highest chance for rain, 67 degrees. And then Sunday, we're going to drop down further into the 60s, few scattered storms here and there, but that is going to clear up for early next week as we get back to sunny skies and high 70s. Lauren Hornberger, Cronkite Weather.
Studies have shown that bilingual students have advantages in the classroom.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how some Arizona schools are introducing dual language learning.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go anywhere for you.
Children as young as 3 are learning both English and Spanish in a dual language program here in the Valley. Cronkite reporter Cassidy McDonald visited the preschool to see how it works.
At the Montecito Dual Language Preschool in Osborne School District, preschool teacher Elizabeth Bustillos says students as young as 3 years old can be heard speaking proficiently in 2 languages.
They come in and not knowing like even buenos dias, but now it's only been a few months. They pick it up pretty quickly.
Last year, the Osborne School District was awarded a $720,000 investment by Helios Education Foundation to fund dual language learning research for ages 3 through 5. The partnership also includes ASU and Child's Play.
With implementing our dual language program in our preschools, our students are able to build those foundational skills in both English and in Spanish and be prepared for kindergarten in both languages.
According to the American Speech Language Hearing Association, students who become bilingual at a young age are better problem solvers, have good listening skills, and better connect with others.
Historically, our district has found that students in our dual language program are outperforming their peers that are in an English-only classroom.
The students spend the first half of the day taught in English and the second half taught completely in Spanish. They do this using a color system, which teaches them when it's time to switch from English to Espanol.
As research indicates, it's so apparent that children learn best a second language and in this particular age group. This is when their brains are developing and they have the opportunity to engage in multiple languages.
Bustillos says she feels the program is successful based on the student progress and parent feedback.
I hear all the time now they're like, yeah, all they want to do is YouTube channel in Spanish, just in Spanish. They just want songs in Spanish. I hear a lot of positive feedback from parents.
And both Helios and ASU hope to study what impact this program will have on the students in the long run. In Phoenix, Cassidy McDonald, Cronkite News.
Both ASU and Helios are conducting research in partnership with the Osborne School District launch of their dual language preschool to explore effective methodologies and practices for creating pathways to early grade success and dual language learning professional development for teachers.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, learn about the impact of disabilities on the African American community. And we'll hear from an opponent of the death penalty who spent years on death row for a crime he didn't commit.
I'm Judy Woodruff on the next NewsHour. Science under siege. Miles O'Brien reports on how some researchers are fighting back. That's Wednesday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Origami, an ancient art. Now, a scientific tool. From shape-shifting robots.
Totally new products.
To the mechanics of living things.
This folding process of proteins is absolutely essential to life.
Probing the mysteries of the universe.
It has a great role to play in space.
The Origami Revolution on Nova.
Tonight at 8 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Arizona PBS programming is brought to you in part by the underwriting support of local businesses. Learn how you can support Arizona PBS and grow your own business by reaching viewers like you. Call 602-496-8664 or azpbs.org/underwriting.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
More ways to explore at pbs.org/anywhere.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell. Join me for a brand new episode of Check Please Arizona.
Favorite part is the broth. It has so much depth of flavor.
So the server really saved the day.
She did. She was
walked
great.
you right through it.
Yes, sir.
It's like good